آل محمد صلى الله وسلم عليك يا أبا عبد الله روحي وأرواح العالمين لك الفداء يا ليتنا كنا معكم سيدي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. Tonight is the 5th night of Muharram, and we continue to honor and remember the Ashab and Ansar of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. We should never take this azah for granted. It is a great, great blessing. Not everyone is blessed to attend and participate in the azah of Abu Abdullah. It is people who are chosen. It is those whom Allah sees the love of the Ahlul Bayt, and those on whom the shade and blessing of Fatima is upon them. The Imams used to give great, great importance to those who would even recite the Marthiyah and the Nawha of Imam al-Hussain. Figures like Imam al-Rida alayhi salam, when Di'bil al-Khuza'i would come to him, the Imam would sit down and he would make Di'bil sit on the mimbar and say, "Oh Di'bil, recite the Marthiyah of my Jad." A man in Medina came once to Imam Sajjad alayhi salam and said, "Yabna Rasulullah, my daughter," this is after Karbala, he said, "My daughter is getting married. I would love for you to attend the wedding." This is where we get this thing of what we call in Gujarati, we say Shuruwat-e-Shadi Majlis. We cry for it. Look at the community we are. We start our new year by crying. We start our weddings by crying for Hussain. He says to Imam Sajjad, "My daughter is getting married. Will you attend it?" He said, "After Karbala, I don't attend weddings. But cry for my Jad, I will come." He said, "I will do that." He kept the majlis of Hussain before the wedding of his daughter. People came, he welcomed them. Imam Sajjad is nowhere to be seen. He's waiting for the Imam, waiting for the Imam. Reciters are coming. Where is Imam Sajjad? He decided, "I'll wait outside on the road so I can see the Imam when he comes." When he went out, the Imam was already there. He was arranging the slippers of the Azadar. You do not know the maqam of those who cry for my father Hussain. The land of Karbala was supposed to be a land of ill luck. It was supposed to be a cursed land. The blood of Hussain and his ashab and ansar made it Karbala mu'alla. There are hadith that say when Allah destroys the world, He will remove Karbala from the earth and keep it in Jannah. That is why when we address this ashab and ansar, we say, "Tibtum wa tabatul ardi allati fiha dufintum." You became purified, and the land in which you are, that too has become pure and purified. 72 men, they held 30,000 armed warriors from Fajr until Asr. By no means is this ordinary. If you put 30,000 soldiers against 72 men, the battle should have lasted 10 minutes, maximum 15 minutes. They held them from Fajr to Asr. This is the genius of Imam al-Hussain and Abul Fadl al-Abbas. When we say that if Abbas alayhi salam had been given permission to fight, that battle would not have ended that day, it's not an emotional statement. You go read accounts by historians from non-Shia sources. Tabari in his Tariq has such accounts. If time would permit, I would narrate to you in detail. Ibn Abil Hadid al-Mu'tazili in his Sharh Nahjul Balagha narrates that the Kufan army of Yazid was almost decimated when the battle began. It was only when they began saying, "Let's attack in groups, let's throw rocks at them," that is when they began to get any ground against the ashab of Hussain. There are many ashab that we cannot mention all in one night. But just as a sample before we come to the final words of Masaeb, there is Abis ibn Shabib ash-Shakiri. He had fought in Siffin. When he went into the battle in Karbala, Umar ibn Saad said, "The warrior of Siffin has arrived." He alone killed 200 people. He sent them to hell. At one point, when he was overcome, Imam Hussain was like an elixir. Anybody who touched him fell in love with him. At one point, Abis removed his armor, removed his helmet, removed his shirt, and went out to fight. They said to him, "Oh Abis, have you gone mad?" He said, "Yes, Hubbul Hussain kad ajannani." The love of Hussein has made me mad. We don't know who to mention. There was a Christian family that showed up. Wahab came with his wife Hania and his mother Qamar. They saw Hussein, they fell in love, they embraced Islam. And the mother said to Wahab, "I want you to go fight." He went and fought. He killed 19 horsemen, 20 men. He came back. He said, "Mother, are you pleased?" She said, "No, you must die for Hussein." The thinking is not ordinary because of Hussein. When they beheaded him, because they captured him alive, his hands had been shattered. Omar said, "Behead him." They behead him. They went towards the Khayyam where his mother was watching. They threw his head to the mother. She took the head, she wiped it, she threw it back. She said, "What we give for Hussein, we don't take." She took a tent pole. She went out and killed 2 men. Hussein had to bring her back. Shimr Dil Joshan came and killed Hania with a spear. She is the only woman who died in Karbala. Then there was John, the freed slave of Abu Dhar. He had served Imam Ali. He was an old man. He comes to Hussein, "Aba Abdullah, let me go fight." Imam Hussain says, "You are an old man now, John. You have served the Ahlul Bayt. You have served my father." He says, "Aba Abdullah, I am dark-skinned." He was from Habash. He was Abyssinian. He said, "I am dark-skinned. My body has a problem. It gives out a foul smell. I'm not worthy of dying for you. But I want my blood to be mixed with your blood, Hussein." You see the love that they had. These ashab were not ordinary. When he died, Imam Hussain prayed for him. He said, "Oh Allah, make his body fragrant." Allama Majlisi in Biharul Anwar says from Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, he says, when they buried the shuhada after 3 days, John's body was far away, they missed it. They found him after 10 days. But the fragrance that was on John's body, none of the other ashab and ansar had the fragrance of John. Because the dua of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. By the time of Dhuhr, only 33 men were left. 15 of the ashab, 18 of the Banu Hashim. Abu Thumama looked up to the heavens and said, "Ya Aba Abdullah, it is time for Dhuhr. We would love to pray behind you." Imam Hussain said, "Dhakarta salat, ja'alaka Allahu min al-musallin." Abu Thumama, you remembered salat. I am proud of you. May Allah make you of those who salat. The ashab would not even let the enemies insult Hussein while they were alive. So Hussein says, "Ask the enemies if they will pause for salat." They ask, and Hasin bin Namir, la'natullah alayhi, says, "Oh Hussein, pray as much as you want. Your prayers will not be accepted." Habib ibn Madahir cannot accept it. Immediately he replies. He says, "Oh drunkard, your salat will be accepted and the grandson of the Prophet's salat will not be accepted." So Imam Hussain decides to pray a shortened prayer that is called Salatul Khawf. And as he stands to pray, Zuhair ibn al-Qayn and Sa'id ibn Abdullah are appointed to guard the ashab of Hussein. Zuhair is guarding the camp of Hussein from the side. Sa'id ibn Abdullah is standing before Hussein. Sa'id has only one thought in mind. Nothing should touch Hussein. He has a shield. Arrows come flying. He is blocking every arrow. Sometimes there are multiple arrows. What does Sa'id do? He blocks some with the shield and some with his chest. 13 arrows pierce the chest of Sa'id. He is thinking of nothing but Hussein. When Imam al-Hussein finishes salat and says, "Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh," Sa'id falls at the feet of Hussein. Aba Abdullah takes his head on his lap. He looks at Sa'id and says, "How are you feeling?" What does Sa'id say? He says, "Aba Abdullah, hal wafaytu ala ahdi mawla'i." Have I been loyal to you in my promise, Mawla? Hussein says, "Yes, Sa'id, you have been loyal to me. Go, my jad will quench your thirst. You stood before me, you will go before me in Jannah." Then it is time for the other ashab to go. Muslim ibn Awsaja goes before Habib. Muslim and Habib were very close friends. When Muslim falls and says, "Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah adrikni," Hussein rushes into the battlefield. Habib goes with him. Muslim's head is on the lap of Hussein. Habib sits beside Muslim and says, "Oh Muslim, if I was not going to die, I would ask you, do you have any will? Do you have any wasiyah? But I'm following you shortly. Muslim says, but Habib, I do have a will. What is it you have a will for, O Muslim? He points to Hussein. He says, Usika bihadal gharib. Habib, my last wish is, don't let anyone touch Hussein. Let no one hurt Hussein while you are alive. Habib promises Muslim, oh Muslim, until my last breath, no one will touch your Mawla Muslim. No one will harm Hussein. I would say, oh Muslim, come at the time of Asr. You will see Hussein rolling in his blood on the hot sands of Karbala. Zainab will be standing on a hill. She will be calling out, Umar ibn Saad, they are slaughtering my brother. Are you just going to stand and watch? Muslim, they will trample your Hussein. There will be no one to say, why are you trampling the son of Zahra? He is the grandson of your prophet. Wa ghariba, wa madluma, wa Husaina. Matam ya Hussein.